Welcome everyone to Signature Move. I'm Bobby.
And I'm Alex.
And we're going to be doing our Raw review today for you. And also we're going to be talking about All In, which happened this weekend.
Two very, very different shows.
Very different shows.
At Signature Move to give you your weekly wrestling review. So please like and share and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And if you want to listen to us, you're welcome to do so on the CastBox app. So please, we're available on all those mediums. Please support us. We're just starting out.
Yes.
So we really appreciate any sort of support that you can throw our way. Please also throw down some comments. We'd love to respond to you.
Yep. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll respond to any comments we have about the show, any improvements we can make, etc. We're counting down to our logo. That should be coming up soon, so we'll have a nice logo in the back.
Very soon.
We'll be adding some decoration to hopefully liven up the podcast a little bit soon.
Yeah, that way you won't have to just look at our boring faces.
Yes. So, what do you want to talk about first? We can talk about All In or Raw first?
Let's talk about Raw first because that's what I had in my mind.
Yeah, and we're going to kind of go off the cuff because we didn't take any notes for All In.
Yeah, because I really just wanted to enjoy it because
Exactly.
it's really a wrestling heavy show. So.
All right, let's go into Raw. So Raw took place from Columbus, Ohio this week.
That's right, the land of Alexa Bliss, as we would find out later on.
Yes. So I'm really excited about this. So I was kind of disappointed with last week's Raw. So let's hope this week will be a little different from my rating. So out came Braun, flanked by heels. So it's official that Braun is a heel.
Yes, he is officially a heel. Yeah. And they've become seemingly a new heel faction, which I have nicknamed Team DBZ.
Yeah. Why?
Because
why for those fans out there?
It is
don't know that
Drew,
reference.
Braun, and Ziggler. So Team DBZ.
Oh my God, they are Team DBZ. And there will be a reference later that I'm going to make, so this is going to make even more sense.
Oh, really? I kept on looking for things. I was like, I got to have some sort of Dragon Ball Z reference here, but I didn't find anything other than their names. But for note-taking purposes, it's much easier to write down DBZ, so that's my nickname.
Oh, man, there was a lot of Dragon Ball that's going to be referenced. So for any of you anime fans out there that like Dragon Ball Z, there's going to be a lot of references to that. For those who don't, you might want to look up Dragon Ball Z and you can find out a little bit more. But anyway, so Renee Young on commentary, yay!
I don't know where Coach is going on assignment, but please
just keep sending him on assignment.
Stay there on assignment. You can take all the assignments you want, Coach, as long as we get our Renee Young.
Yeah, let's send him to a Foghouse in Puget Sound. That'd be great.
Good.
That's great. So we set up for a good match. We know. And then they set up for Braun versus Roman at the Hell in a Cell. They advertised that.
They advertised that. We knew that was happening.
I think that's going to be a good match, but the problem with this is I feel like it's going to be a good match that Braun's going to lose. We all know Roman's winning. The cash-in is not going to, for the third time, a cash-in that was not a surprise is going to lose.
Most likely going
which is going to make Braun look like a dummy.
I think it would be great if he won, but I don't think it's going to happen because I'm pretty sure that they're all in on this Roman being the champ thing. So, whatever. They'll have a good feud. They'll have some good matches. So I'm still looking forward to it very much.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I like that you used the All In reference. We're segueing into that. So not to steal someone's catchphrase out there.
Yeah.
But so. But they set up for that.
Like I said, Team DBZ came out. They got mixed reactions. There was a decent amount of boos, and the boos got considerably more and more the more they talked.
Yeah.
I really like Dolph Ziggler saying that you started this Shield, so we're here to end it.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty.
That was cool.
Pretty cool.
I'm gonna say the Braun heel turn. I'm still against it. I feel like Vince is just going against the grain again for the sake of it. I said it ad nauseum. I think, in my opinion, Raw it's going to be a rough year if you're a wrestler not named Braun or isn't wearing black because it's going to be rough on Raw. If I were like a new guy coming up in the ranks, NXT, I would just be like, please SmackDown.
Don't send me to Raw. Yeah, don't send me to Raw. There's too much dominance going on there for either one.
Yeah,
you know?
I'll get into it more later about the dominance thing, but man, it is rough if you are not, like, Finn Balor is not having a good time.
Yeah, we'll discuss
whether
it
he's
later
Batman or not.
Yeah, so the Shield came out, and then directly behind the Shield is the entire locker room of Raw. Good guys and bad guys. Total insanity. My God. Brawl! Big brawl!
Oh, you got ahead of me. I did want to mention that in that promo, Drew McIntyre talked about how he's going. They're like prey. That Drew McIntyre mentioned that they're like animals that are going to like go at. Drew McIntyre watches a lot of animal specials. I feel because he's like last week they were like lambs to the slaughter, and this time he was talking about being animals on the hunt. I feel like Drew psychs himself up by watching like Richard Attenborough specials or something to that effect.
So with all the joking of my team DBZ, they call themselves the Pack, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a name. I think that's what they're gonna roll with. The Pack.
Oh, so that's why he's making the animal references. Ooh.
It was kind of slight, but I was like, that's kind of a catchy name. Let's see, they're probably gonna go with the Pack reference
versus the Shield.
Hounds
versus wolves.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate canine enforcement going on.
My God.
Anyway. Yeah, brawl. So the brawl happened.
The crazy brawl, a.k.a. Spot That Jobber.
Yes. Which jobber did you spot, Alex?
Oh, it was the run-of-mill jobbers. It was Titus, Worldwide.
Oh, so nobody special that you spotted?
Not in this segment of the brawl.
Oh, but there will be one later.
I saw someone, I was like, ooh, look at that person.
All right.
I didn't expect to see them.
Tell us what jobbers you can spot. So too bad there isn't a match where I was watching this and there was a brawl and I'm like, man, too bad there isn't a match where two teams can settle their differences in one giant match. Some sort of place where like a war between two teams could happen.
Yeah, like maybe in a baseball diamond or something. Maybe some sort of
game
arena.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen on Raw.
No, that's not.
But man, wouldn't it be great if it did?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
But it's not because Vince hates WCW.
Really, for some reason, dislikes War Games, but NXT will enjoy War Games. So
yeah, that's fine. Well, I think War Games will be better in NXT anyway.
Will most likely be better anyway.
So, yep, that was that. Fun brawl.
Yeah, and then at the very end of it, you see Shield, who's seemingly going into a police van and getting arrested. I don't know why, because they didn't really start anything.
Yeah, they didn't really.
They just kind of came out, and then people just like pulled them away, and I thought that they got the fuzzy end of the lollipop in that deal.
Well, I feel like, that's a weird phrase, but I feel like the reason, at least in kayfabe, is Baron got them arrested. Because that makes sense.
Okay, that makes a little bit more
because otherwise, you are right. It makes no sense. They do what wrestlers do on a daily basis. Why are they being arrested?
I like that. Yeah,
so that works for me anyway. That's how I justify it. Otherwise, there's no reason for them.
There's no reason for them to get arrested.
You are right. You're completely right about that. So then we had Bella Twins making their triumphant return versus Riot Squad. As we've said before, not big fans of the Bella Twins here.
Don't like those Bella Twins, but
hey, if you are, convince us otherwise. If you have a comment about the Bella Twins, but
as far as I'm concerned, Nikki can wrestle. That's proven, but I just don't like her for what the Bella Twins stand for. To be honest with you, I don't watch their reality TV show.
Yeah, and the worst,
their fake lives.
What I wrote down here in my notes is I feel like they're sacrificing the Riot Squad to give the Bella Twins a win.
Yeah.
This is all leading to Nikki versus Ronda. Yeah. And then Nikki's going to lose to Ronda. So it seems like a whole bunch of wasted nonsense to build up Nikki Bella as a credible threat. And it's a recurring thing where WWE, I feel like right now, is relying way too much on their nostalgia acts instead of building up their superstars. There's so many good women wrestlers right now that are better than the last generation.
Oh, I'm glad that you're mentioning that because I really feel that the women's pay-per-view that's coming up, I'm like looking less and less forward to the matches there. And why? Because they're just bringing back the old women wrestlers. And I'm like, I'm not interested in those matches because they're not going to go anywhere unless they're going to stay on the roster, which I highly doubt that Lita or Trish or anybody classic will stay. And by the way, if they're doing a classic women's match, why don't they do a match with Mickie James versus Trish Stratus? Oh, yeah. Because that's something that actually could be settled a little bit more.
Oh, with like Legacy and stuff?
Yeah.
Because we all know people hate Legacy, which they'll show later in the show. But anyway, I feel like they need to start pushing their current women's stars.
Yeah.
Nothing against the old women's stars, Nikki and Trish and all them. But like you said, there's nowhere to go from there.
There's nowhere to go from there.
And the worst part is, I think almost all the nostalgia acts are going to win their matches at Evolution, too.
Yeah.
I feel like Trish is going to beat Alexa. Nikki will lose to Ronda because Ronda's Ronda. But outside of that, almost anybody who's nostalgia feels like they're going to win now.
Yep.
Ugh. But it's
anyway,
like reversing.
We're kind of backtracking a little bit.
No, it has to do with this match. So, like I said, if Ronda weren't so good, like, I would not be looking forward to that Nikki Bella match. Yeah. I think this would suck a lot. No, this whole storyline would be terrible.
They'll still probably have a decent match.
Yeah, because Ronda.
They'll practice the hell out of it, and usually if you practice a match long enough, it's going to be decent.
Well, somebody should have told Brie that. Because they had this match, Bella Twins versus the Riot Squad, was an okay match to start, I feel.
Yeah.
And then, oh man, Brie botches not one, but 2 dives.
Yeah. That second botch on dive
that
was just like,
painful.
she basically just ate pavement. Like, belly flopped on the ground. I was like, wow, why are you even trying that move if you can't do it?
Exactly.
It was embarrassing.
Very embarrassing, Brie.
Yeah.
And I will say this, especially after watching All In and the women's match they had at All In, which we'll talk about later.
Great.
But man, this was not a great match.
And I also did not appreciate this comment from Michael Cole, who says, the Riot Squad can't wait to get the best of their betters.
Ooh.
What are you doing, Michael Cole? Why are you dragging down the Riot Squad like that? Yes, we know that they've lost a lot of matches, but really? Their betters are the Bella Twins?
You're making her mad.
Ugh.
Don't make her mad.
Terrible comment.
Oh, yeah. Alex Smash.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was not a great segment. Twice botched. Nikki with the win.
Yeah,
whatever. Good win.
Who cares?
All right. So then we went to a backstage show with Baron Corbin, and they're setting up a Baron Corbin versus Finn main event.
Ooh, that would be surprising.
That was
weird.
They're
really not main eventers at this point.
Yeah. Well, I said, something's gonna happen.
I wrote something is afoot. Baron Corbin clearly has something else planned.
Yeah, for his match, and he would.
He did.
So then Elias comes out. Elias by the man, they're making me not like Elias anymore.
Yeah, seriously.
Just by the numbers.
I'm kind of over Elias at this point because his stuff isn't leading anywhere. Like, this Elias segment led to the women coming out. Again, that's exactly what happened last week.
Yep.
Why isn't he in any match or feud with, somebody that he can actually wrestle?
I feel like they were going for Bobby. But for Bobby Lashley, and then they just dropped it.
It just evaporated. So
I don't know.
Because I don't know.
I haven't even seen Bobby. I don't know what's going on with him. Where do you think?
I think that he was in something that got cut.
Maybe.
As I was scrolling,
like poor Sasha and Bailey that are cut on every segment.
Cut on every single segment. As to remind anybody who is a first-time viewer, we actually do watch the Hulu version. I'm sorry, but we don't pay for cable. Maybe if we eventually start, a Patreon or something, they can pay for our cable subscription. But until then,
we're not
doing that.
Nah, cable is terrible.
So we do watch the Hulu version. I think that something from Bobby Lashley was cut, as is the Sasha and Bailey, whatever.
Well, we're getting distracted, but anyway, Elias came out, did his thing.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss came out with her new shirt, her Ohio shirt, which was apparently selling because that shirt was everywhere.
Everybody in the crowd was wearing that shirt. Like, I didn't know what it was at first because I noticed earlier that people were wearing a shirt that was all the same, but I'm like, I can't read it. And then she came out and like, oh, they're wearing the Alexa Bliss shirt. Oh, because she's from Columbus, Ohio. Okay.
Yep. So she came out, started acting like she was for Ohio, which I loved, and then turned it on a heel again, like Alexa does, and is like, this place sucks.
And ran down to some really good moves. A lot of heat there for Alexa.
She really tore them up.
Yep.
I love, the love towards the end, she's like, oh, they're just jealous of beautiful people like us, Elias.
Yeah.
And then her flirting with him, saying that she wants to walk with us.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, but I did. Her flirting with Elias reminded me of the past connection that she's had flirting with Braun.
Oh, I missed that.
Braun has always been a face, so they never really did anything with it. But now I'm like, oh, Braun's a heel. They could actually maybe do something with that
I think
relationship.
you're hoping. There's a lot of hope there. That would be interesting. So that happened, and then with Alexa, I wrote down here.
I enjoyed the Alexa segments a lot more than the Elias segments. I gotta say.
I think Alexa is going to be going on a long losing streak though in this segment. She's going to lose at Hell in the Cell. She's going to lose at Evolution of Trish.
I don't mind at all.
So get in her licks now.
Get in your licks because you were way too dominant for many years.
Yep.
Now like going on almost 3 years of Alexa Bliss being dominant in no matter what fed she's in. So.
Yep. So Ronda came out with Natalya to a big pop.
Yep.
And so it sets up Natalya versus Alexa. I wrote very good stuff. Little
match.
Reaction from the crowd, which I was disappointed with.
I know, they had some really good wrestling, so I don't know why the crowd was so dead for it.
No, I think it's a knee-jerk reaction sometimes for the women's matches. I feel like the women have to do more to earn their spot or to earn the respect, which, what a surprise. Women have to work harder to get the respect that they deserve from the crowd.
Yeah.
So, but a good match, I thought. I think when Natalya goes heel against Ronda, we're going to be getting some crazy good matches.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very good for both of them because it's very clear that Natty can wrestle really, really well. And so I think that she's going to bring out the best of Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's going to be very, very good.
So, yep. And then then Alexa wins the match because she has to win leading into Hell in the Cell. So it's good that she's getting her win in now because she's going to go on that losing streak, like I said. And she beats Natalya with a arm with not a
weakest looking armbar
very
ever.
weak.
Let's get real. Like she was trying to do the thing where like, look, I can do the armbar too, but you really can't. So don't do that again. I liked the fact that Corey said that Alexa Bliss was studying jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
I thought that was kind of a funny comment. And then Ronda Rousey came in and proceeded to throw Alicia Fox around the ring like a rag doll.
Oh, wow. Like those throws she gives
her. I think that they just like putting Alicia Fox in there just so that Ronda Rousey could beat her up.
You know what? It's great, though.
But it's great.
Anything that gets Alicia more screen time, I'm happy with. Mickey James feels like now a third wheel almost. I don't know if she's doing it.
Mickey James didn't do anything, so it's too
bad.
Sad. I like her.
But hopefully more girl stuff I would like to see.
This was one of my favorite segments of the night, I gotta say.
Even with all that Brie Bell...
This women's match was actually a good match, even though it was short. Yeah, and I like the Alexa Bliss stuff coming out. She was entertaining. I wasn't very...
And she got some hits on Ronda, even though Ronda stood tall.
Ronda stood tall in the end still, but she was actually getting her licks in. So, yeah, I like this segment a lot.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good match. So then
then there's a Twitter update. Yep. Oh my God!
Yes.
The Shield has officially been arrested.
Yes, according to them, the Shield were arrested and sent to jail. I just want to say this. Is there any confusion because they're wearing riot gear with the police? Like, wouldn't there be like, couldn't they slip away in the night like as... I would love to see... I wish they had done this. They had taped a scene where the Shield were like, hey, we're cops too. And like it snuck out of the prison like Scooby-Doo style.
Like Scooby-Doo style.
What do you think?
I would have loved that.
Tell you.
I thought this
WWE.
The Twitter updates on the Shield were kind of laughable. I'll get into it a little bit later with the second.
But that one would have been great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Yeah, seeing them be like, "Oh no, we're part of the riot squad." But anyway, so that was kind of fun with that little Shield update. Drew and Dolph have a backstage segment where pretty much they say we're going to attack the Revival.
Yeah.
Because we want a tag shot because the Revival...
They told Baron Corbin, you're responsible for finding us competition. And he goes, well, there's a tag team title thing going on. And, they basically say, okay, oh, wait, so if the Revival's out of the picture, then, you'll consider us for the match. And he says, okay, I'll consider it. And then they kind of sneak away like Roberts, like...
That's the worst, too, is you figure the Revival would have seen this coming.
Yeah.
Like, hello. They literally are, like, an interview segment over from where it was happening.
Yeah, but no, that's what I figured. They were preparing for their interview segment, so they didn't hear that other segment that was happening.
Yeah, you figured somebody... Man,
I kind of like that it was immediately after.
Do the Revivals have no friends? Like nobody was like, "Hey, did you hear what Drew and they're gonna attack you?
They're gonna attack you guys." And I don't know. I can't imagine the Revival ever going face. Ugh. Like that would be terrible. Yeah. This really puts them even further
they're
down the line.
DOA.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I want the Revival to do better.
They need some face tag team competition.
No, I'm telling you, they need to go to SmackDown is what they need to do.
Maybe.
Revival needs a SmackDown.
They should just put all the tag teams on SmackDown.
Well, that would... Our faith in the tag division will be restored shortly. Yeah. Thank goodness. So that beatdown happened.
Yep.
Wasn't long. And then the Revival can no longer compete because they were thrown into things. Like, that's not something that happens in wrestling on a general basis.
Yeah.
But there was pipes that fell.
There was pipes. There was a lot of loud clanging pipes in that segment of the beatdown.
So basically, the Revival are affected by sonic attack of some sort.
They're like, maybe they're Venom.
They're Venom.
We are Venom.
We are Venom. So... Anyway, you're going to get a lot of references to comics and anime right now in this. If you were hoping for that, not in this video, you're going to get a bit of that today.
So anyway, the next match is the B team versus the Revival. Oh no, the record scratch finally made sense, Bobby.
Yep.
It finally made sense because Revival's music was playing, and then record scratch. Here comes Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre to ruin the day.
And I just wrote, I am cautiously optimistic, because you know how I feel about the Raw Tag Division, Alex. So I just wrote, please, new tag champs, cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about the B team. Mm-hmm. At one point, Renee Young was like, man, I hope they still have Lady Luck on their side.
Yeah.
When you're counting on Luck as the tag team champions, she basically said they only win through luck.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
No, I basically wrote B team equals Yano with less personality.
No, I was going to say, I was thinking about that too. Like, Yano from New Japan, he still steals wins from major players, so he's got this idea of he could win any match. Yeah. Whereas I was like, looking at this, I'm like, I don't think the B team has a chance in hell of winning this match.
Nope.
So, oh man.
But it was not a squash match.
No, they got in their licks.
They actually got in some offense.
Which is good.
Decent.
No, if you want to keep the B team as a team that the crowds, they gotta show themselves, and they did. I thought it was good, but then Drew just came in as a beast that he is, and just overpowered him. A near perfect super kick from Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, he killed him with that super kick
right
on the jaw. Looked great.
Yep, and then set up the finisher.
Yep,
we have new tag team champions.
With that new zigzag double team finisher.
Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, new tag team champs. What a breath of fresh air to Raw.
Thank you. And it also gives Team DBZ, a little bit of steam, because now they have belts with this one. Yeah, that's what I'm calling them. I don't care about the pack. It's all about Team
DBZ. Okay, as we're calling them.
Yes.
So, I'm happy about this.
Yeah,
I can't be.
Drew in the end just looks super intimidating.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, Drew looks intimidating, and Dolph Ziggler looks very annoying. So it works.
Oh, I was thinking, man, Drew is standing on the top, and like Dolph is like on the ropes, bouncing up and down. Yeah. Man, if my Toady reference didn't make sense before, doesn't it now?
Totally is a toady.
Like I just wrote, Toady's got a toad.
Toady's got a toad.
Dolph Ziggler is killing me as Drew's Toady.
Yeah,
I love it. Love it. I'm telling you, Christmas Carol villains.
Yeah.
There we go. So then the Bellas came to offer their services to Ronda.
Just sucking up to her so bad.
Man, they are fake even when they're trying to be genuine.
We'll do anything to be friends with you, Ronda.
Yeah, like they come off fake even when their character's supposed to be genuine.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Wow, the Bellas.
And they said Ronda Rousey inspired them to come back to wrestling. Can you please be uninspired? Just like go away. Go away.
We don't like you, Bellas. What can we say?
We don't need your inspiration.
Hey, if you're Bellas fans, bring it. I'm not if Bree showed us anything today, she is not good. I'm not looking forward to that mixed tag match just went down a notch with those two botches today.
Yeah, just like
Nikki Bella can usually hang, but man,
Nikki can actually.
But Bree sucks. Bree sucks.
But Bree is good.
Anyway, so then we got Shawn Michaels coming out, looking in great shape. And man, he was here to shill.
Oh man,
shill
he started with at least a 2-minute promo for his merchandise. I'm like, oh wow, this is how
like he made it a joke.
he made it a joke, but
then,
boy, like, the crowd was getting kind of annoyed with him, too, I felt like.
Yep.
But then he turned it around, and, you know, he plugs HBK, and, HBK's merchandise, and then he comes out and plugs more about Triple H, about how Triple H is going to win.
Yeah, so I was a little upset because I'm like, oh, man, he's shilling, going to shill the Super Show, blah, 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 blah. And the crowd was kind of, I think, agreeing with me on that.
Yeah, apathetic.
But then he starts talking about why he bet on Triple H, which angered a particular person. The Undertaker shows up to Raw.
And
unexpectedly.
Slowly makes his way down to the ring.
Well, he's getting older.
That's what he does.
And let's be honest, his entrance was never quick.
About the same entrance level as Randy Orton.
Oh, I don't know. Randy might even be slower. That's how bad Randy is.
Maybe.
So he came out, much to the delight of the crowd, because I don't think it was announced.
No, I don't think it was announced either.
The Undertaker
He just
was
came
gonna
out and
be
had something to say.
Yep, so he came out, and what a great promo between him and Shawn Michaels.
It was really good.
Yep.
I mean, I wish that I cared more about this match.
Yeah, me too.
That's the thing. It's in a glorified house show.
Yeah.
Triple H had an awesome promo, and now Shawn Michaels and Undertaker all had great promos. Will the match be that great? Probably not, because they're both kind of on the older side of things. And do I really care about this? Not really. So my question is this. Why? Why is it taking up so much TV time?
Because they have to sell the Super Show.
Does they? I don't know. Like,
That's the only match they're advertising.
oh my god.
So that's why. And I'll tell
This
you,
is ridiculous.
well, they got us to advertise their show somehow.
Promote your young talent, Vince.
No.
This is crazy.
Yep. So, I love the part where, I will say though, the promo was good. I love the part where Shawn was talking about, out of respect, that he hasn't come back to the match and how he's gotten, offers year after year of WrestleMania. I mean, this last WrestleMania, everybody was talking about AJ and Shawn is going to happen. AJ and Shawn.
Yeah.
And people were really excited. And Shawn's like, no, I'm retired.
I'm retired. I can't do that.
And so it was a lot. That's why I think it was, once again, best promos are the ones that ring true.
Yeah.
And Shawn was like, you know what? People want me to come back, but out of respect for The Undertaker, I never have. And The Undertaker ends it with, I do like this, man. Was it respect or is it fear?
Yeah.
So that was great.
That was very memorable line.
Yeah. So great promo, but like you said, leading to something that we're like, And I'll tell you right now, I would bet my house that Triple H is winning that match. Guaranteed.
Yeah, at first I wasn't sure, but now I've heard your reasoning. So you talked about it a lot last week.
Yeah,
Or was it 2 weeks ago?
I might have. That Triple H has lost every single WrestleMania match to The Undertaker, and you think for 1 second that the Golden Shovel is going into retirement with not having beaten a guy.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Triple H likes to win.
Yeah, he does love that win. So
And he's really booking it now.
yeah, he is actually booking it. So Triple H is going over
Book to win.
one last
Book to
time.
win.
I would bet my house on it.
Yep, think so.
So he's so winning that match, especially after that stuff with Shawn. So winning that match. So Baron cuts to Baron backstage. Baron can't compete, which leads to Braun, which I always thought he was going to do. Braun versus Finn.
Well, I don't think he can't compete. He just didn't want to.
Well, no, he's got a lot on his plate. He's acting general manager.
I know.
He has to make matches.
He has to pick up the cell phone when Stephanie calls.
Yes.
Nobody likes talking to anyone on cell phone.
I mean, those vests.
Why can't you just text?
Yeah, and those vests don't vest themselves.
Yeah.
So Baron's a very busy man. He doesn't have time for Finn.
Yeah.
So he sets up Braun versus Finn, which was...
Big surprise there.
Yep. Then we got another Twitter update that the Shield has been arraigned and posted bail.
My God, the Shield. I'm just saying, they got in and out of jail in just under 3 hours.
Holy mackerel.
That is a record. What is happening in Ohio's Justice Department? My God.
If you live in Columbus, Ohio, you need to write to your senators about this.
No,
this is a completed...
Thank them. Tell all of the other Justice Departments they need to be just like Columbus,
just
Ohio.
as efficient.
Just as efficient. My God, they must have been stamping things, and they only probably stood in a jail cell for what, like 30 minutes?
No, I think it's wrong. I disagree with you completely. I think it's wrong, and as someone who used to say, I think it's a miscarriage of justice that the Shield was let out in under 3 hours. What is going on, Columbus, Ohio?
No.
Talk to me.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, if you're out there and you live in Columbus, what the heck is going on with your justice?
You're just letting your criminals post bail
just
within
fly out
2
the door.
hours? My God.
What is wrong with you? Anyway, so we set up for the main event.
Yeah.
Braun versus Finn.
Yeah.
So I wrote Finn's coming down. Finn should just go to Japan. He should just go back to Japan. He's never going to get a push on Raw.
No, he just needs to become Prince Devitt. That's it. Let's change your character. You're done.
And here's the thing. It's funny that you should do the DBZ, because I wrote in my notes, without even talking to her, none of this is, we all do this fresh. Everyone on Raw is all the characters that aren't Saiyan in Dragon Ball Z. And Roman and Braun are the Saiyans.
So, what does that make Finn?
Finn is totally Piccolo. He's totally Piccolo. He's not, like, he's decent, but he's never beating anybody of name.
Okay. all right.
So,
as long as he's not Yamcha.
Or if you want to go back to my last week comparison where Finn is Batman, Finn is like Batman on the Justice League. You've got, like, Superman, Wonder Woman, all these crazy people powerful, and they're like, oh, well, Batman, we need him because he's really smart.
Well, Batman still leads the Justice League at some point, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, when, like, no one's around.
All right.
You think when, like, they're like, oh, who would you rather have guarding your HQ? Batman or Martian Manhunter? All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Come on. Batman, it's I'm telling you, it feels like everybody is going to be sacrificed in the next year or two to Braun and Roman.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be brutal.
Yeah. Well, it's already happening, so.
Yeah. So
they had a match, which was not a terrible match.
No, back and
really
forth.
Quick. It was back and forth a little bit.
I thought honestly Finn was gonna sell the entire match.
No, that's what I thought too. I was like, is this gonna be a glorified squash match? But no, Finn got in a little bit of offense. You know, he did a great baseball slide out of the ring and then just double stomps right on.
That was a good
Braun's
spot.
Head. That was really, really good. You know. It's him against the numbers too, because he's got the other two bullies on the side of the ring.
Oh yeah, so it was. I liked it. He seemed like an underdog, and it made Braun look a little weaker because it's like, oh, you need these two guys just to beat Finn.
Just to beat him.
But once again, whether that leads to anything, I think Finn is definitely the bridesmaid, never the bride right now.
Yeah, right now he needs some help to his character.
Or a switch to a certain blue brand.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So then they're beating up on Finn. Everyone on Raw, like I said, is that
Braun gets the win with the power slam. I gotta say, I'm a little bit upset, and I don't know if they're doing this to change his character. Braun is not doing a running power slam anymore.
He's doing like
he's just doing a power slam.
I think so.
I
maybe
like the run.
Maybe it's just a build up, like it gets crowd hyped. I don't know.
Yeah, like does the build up make him a face?
Well, I think WWE likes moves that you can just come out all of a sudden. So the power slam has a lot of build up to it.
Okay, yeah, the running slam has a little bit of the run, so yeah.
But they like things where like, oh, he hit it out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, so
RKO.
Yeah, you can hit the power slam out of nowhere.
That's right. That's what I think anyway.
All right.
So then the Shield came out. Police thing came out. A police van, which means that they stole it.
Yeah.
So. Once again, why didn't we do Scooby-Doo things when they're stealing police vans? Roman, you thief. And I love that he had to open the doors for Seth and Dean, who I picture like psyching themselves up like, oh man, what if Roman hadn't opened the door? They'd just been like...
like, well, we're stuck here.
What if they had attacked Roman before he opened the door? They're screwed. It's a police van. I imagine it's pretty unescapable.
Yeah.
But no, they did.
Yep.
Shield came out, and then... It looked like we were going to have the Shield versus the DBZ, Team DBZ.
Team DBZ, or the Pack.
But it didn't happen.
But no, it didn't happen. Instead, all of the heels came out of the locker room. And I mean all of the heels. There was at the front of the charge was a KO sighting.
Yep, KO. We saw KO.
And this was where really Spot the Jobber really started for me. Because in that first bit, I was like, oh, we see these guys every week. Now I saw... AOP.
Oh, AOP sighting.
Oh my god, AOP's still alive. Whoa.
Yep.
Drew Gulak came out and was slapping Roman's face. I was like, how the hell is he allowed to do that?
I don't know.
I don't know. He's on 205 Live.
You better be
careful.
careful.
He's the main heel on 205 Live. But whoa, Drew Gulak.
Be careful there, Drew.
There.
And then we had a Mike Kanellis was my favorite sound.
Mike Kanellis was there. And I wasn't even aware that he was really a heel because he's had so little TV time.
Yep. So they all proceeded to beat the Shield down.
Oh, yeah.
And then they threw Seth Rollins into the car window, which shattered, which was not planned, I guarantee you. Because he cut his arm.
Real bad.
Super bad.
Yeah.
But it looked amazing.
Great. That was probably the best spot of all of that beatdown was Seth
going through that glass.
And
then the power slam onto the mats on Roman was pretty sick.
And also Drew hit a really good kick. What's his kick?
The
Claymore, right? Yeah.
Yep.
He hit the Claymore on Dean Ambrose.
Yep.
On the ramp. That looked
and
very
so
good.
it ended with a beatdown of the Shield, all the heels on Raw versus the Shield.
Yep.
So I actually like that kind of storyline of the Shield versus everybody.
Yeah, that's when the Shield is the best, is when they're the Hounds of Justice, cleaning up the city,
Yep. Yeah, so almost like superheroes or anime characters, if you will. And but I feel like Finn's the odd man out right now.
Yeah, Finn needs some help.
Yeah, he's got to be he's got to join the Shield. He's got to
either join the Shield or get a buddy or something. A buddy system when you walk down the hallway, Finn.
Yeah, you need a buddy system.
Gotta need that.
Because there's a lot of bullies.
Heels.
Be a star, everyone at Raw, except you heels. Just go to town on people.
But you notice that they did not get arrested for that beatdown.
No.
Like the Shield.
Because Baron Corbin was in charge of it. I think Baron Corbin's very happy about the situation. Yeah. Hey, say what you want. He kept everyone in line. Mm-hmm. Which Kurt Angle, that would have ended with a big brawl, and Kurt Angle would have been like, we'll get this mess.
No, the thing is, it would have ended with Kurt Angle in the middle of the ring going, what's happening? I'm going to get in so much trouble from Stephanie. So, yeah. What'd you think about this Raw? What do you grade it?
What do I grade it?
Yeah.
Oh, I would say it's definitely better than last week. Still a lot of problems with, like I said, the debut, but I enjoyed a lot of what I saw. Some of the stuff I did not like the Bella stuff. That was bad. I thought there were a lot of not enough wrestling as well. I'm gonna give it 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Last week I graded 5 out of 10, I think, and you gave it like a 2 out of 10.
Oh, I was not happy.
Not happy last week. This week I was happier. I'm gonna give it 6 out of 10 as well.
Oh.
Because last week I gave it 5 out of 10. I think it improved on last week. And also, it kind of took me a week to think about Braun's position in the company. And now that I've thought about it, I'm accepting of him being a heel.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they're going with this.
Yes, exactly.
I mean,
last week I was more anti, like, no, Braun shouldn't be a heel. He's doing so much good face work. You know what? He can be a heel and still do what he was doing as a face, which was beat everybody up.
I think it was naive of us to think that they were going to have someone more over than Roman.
Yeah, exactly.
And so as soon as he got more over, Vince cut that legs out from under him.
And you know,
what a surprise, Vince. Great job.
It took me time to really think it over, but I'm cool with Braun being a heel now. If it helps, also makes Drew McIntyre look even more like a champ when he's got the tag belts with Dolph Ziggler, then I approve. I approve of that. So, yeah, 6 out of 10. Mostly because I wanted more matches. Most of the matches that were there were squash matches, except for the women's match.
Yep. So, all right, now we're going to go into All In, which happened this weekend. For anybody who's not into wrestling, there was this big event sponsored by Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. They paid for it out of pocket and did their own independent fed, which you can watch on New Japan World. And there's also other places you can watch it. That's where we saw it. And we took a watch of All In. Good wrestling event.
Yeah, All In was a mixed pay-per-view between Ring of Honor and New Japan.
A little bit of everything, but independent.
Yeah, mostly independent wrestlers. Bobby and I don't really follow Ring of Honor at all.
Yeah.
But we do follow New Japan, mostly.
Yep. So we're just going to go into some of the matches we liked and highlighted, and we'll talk about that.
I hope you have them written down.
Oh, I do.
I don't have any notes.
No, I got them here. Don't worry about it. So, I'm not going to talk about the matches that, for me, weren't really anything to talk about.
Yeah, just mention the good ones.
Yep, so I'm going to talk, they had Christopher Daniels versus Stephen Amell. The Green Arrow himself was wrestling at All In and had a decent showing.
A really good match.
With Christopher Daniels.
I mean, he's a celebrity, so you kind of have to set the bar here instead of, here. And I'll say that he kind of met him in between.
Yeah.
He had a good, solid match.
Yeah, he did what he could. He took some sick bumps.
Really
went coast to coast with the drop kick.
Yeah, who goes coast to coast and is not a trained wrestler?
Yeah.
My God. He's really putting his all into this. Maybe he's thinking of a career change. Maybe he's going full-time wrestler.
I don't know.
He's a huge wrestling fan from everything that I've heard. So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing more matches if they continue to be as good a quality as he performed.
And so he fought Christopher Daniels, and surprisingly, usually, despite WWE's mantra of celebs go over, he lost to Christopher Daniels.
Which makes me think there might be a rematch in there.
I hope so.
I hope
so. I liked it. I think Christopher Daniels did a great job, and I'm glad Steven did the job.
Christopher Daniels has been in the business for at least 25 years. And wow, he is still in killer shape, doing great work.
It's amazing. Great. What I need to know what he's eating and drinking.
Seriously.
Because Christopher Daniels is about as good as he used to be, if not even better.
Yeah, everybody needs to be on the Christopher Daniels diet.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't. Maybe he's using the DDP yoga.
Fairy dust, or maybe he's doing the DDP yoga. I don't know. Well, we should find out.
All right, we're gonna try to find that out. Try to find. Hey, if you comment and let us know what does Christopher Daniels eat and drink.
What makes him so fairy magical? I don't know.
We don't know. So then we set up probably, I think, the show-stealing match of the night for me was Tessa Blanchard, Chelsea Green, Madison Rayne, and Britt Baker, 4-corner women's match.
Yeah.
Went about 13 minutes, and it was unbelievably good.
Only 13 minutes?
It was only 13 minutes.
It felt like it was a solid 20.
And it was good.
I loved this match.
Wow.
Loved it. It was high octane from the start. Those ladies put their all into it. Dang.
Yeah, if you
hard hitting too.
Yeah, if you sign up for New Japan to watch All In, this is one of the matches.
This is one of the matches you need to see.
If you want to see some women's wrestling, this was at its best.
Absolutely.
Good character work from Chelsea Green with her Two-Face gimmick.
Yeah, she's got a Two-Face personality gimmick that I just can't get enough of. It's really good. It's a woman that's both a face and a heel combined into one. Whoa.
Yep. So she's dealing with that. Britt Baker was also definitely solid. Her and
DMD, I think.
Yeah, Britt Baker.
I don't know. She's got a doctor gimmick going on. I really liked her ring attire.
Yep. Her and Madison Rayne, and then possibly. You know how I always talk about Charlotte might be one of the best in the world? Mm-hmm. Man, is Tessa Blanchard on her heels.
Oh, yeah.
Tessa Blanchard is amazing.
Man. She's got a crazy build where she's got these big-ass shoulders, and she just looks like she's going to devastate anybody who walks into her. Yeah. She's fantastic.
She did a press slam at one point.
Yeah.
And
it looked like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Like, no big deal. Oh, pow.
Wow, man. Why WWE let her go, I will never know, because her versus Charlotte would take my money right now.
Yeah.
Tessa Blanchard, one of the best women in the world. Mm-hmm. I'm putting her up there, right there with Asuka, right there with Charlotte, right there with Becky. Tessa Blanchard, if you haven't seen her stuff, go watch it. Watch her stuff. She's on the Mae Young Classic last year, which had one of the better matches with Kairi Sane, I believe.
Yep.
And watch this 4-way. Unbelievable. I can't even say all the spots, but they great.
It was one right after the other, right after the other. Up until the very end. That's what surprised me, is usually there's kind of like a little bit of a lull. There wasn't any lulls.
No. Awesome. High octane. Great match. Possibly my match of the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we had Cody Rhodes versus Nick Aldis for the Classic NWA Championship. For those out there not in the know, the NWA is probably what would eventually is probably the most known independent title there ever is. It was back in the old territories. People like Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, legends have held this title. It's kind of what the WCW eventually would become, but they still have the title, they still use it, and so there's a lot of history on that title.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I didn't really know too much about that title, so Bobby kind of mentioned it to me when we were watching the show, and it's a cool storyline. A lot of the old wrestlers came out with Cody Rhodes to support him on the way. There was DDP, there was Tommy Dreamer, who didn't look in the best shape, by the way. I don't know what happened to Tommy Dreamer.
Well, anyway, he came out, Nick Aldis. You could tell Cody's super nervous because this is A, his pay-per-view, and B, he's going for a title his father held several times. And the crowd was probably into this match more than any match on the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
they really were hot.
It's also very strange for me to see the evolution of Cody Rhodes, because when we saw him last year at Strong Style, Evolved, he was so hated.
Most hated man in the building.
Hated. Oh my God, the boos were resounding. And to hear it completely the opposite, where it's like, man, everyone is cheering him. Whoa! In just a year's time, because it was just about a year ago we saw Strong Style Evolved in Long Beach. It was it was really, really good.
I will say, I think a lot of it is because he's the guy who came in all. It was a little
true.
bit, and they were rooting for him to win this title. So they had the match.
Yeah.
The match was okay. I thought Nick Aldis was kind of a boring wrestler from what I saw.
Yeah, he didn't really impress me that
He had a
much.
great look, but then his wrestling didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it, but in the end, Cody Rhodes won to a big pop.
Yeah.
Won that title. A lot of legacy. I want to see what he does with this NWA title if he's going to start using it, and it's exciting. Good match.
Yeah.
So exciting on that.
Solid match. Nothing really to report too much other than his finisher looked great.
Okay. Then we had Hangman Page fight Joey Janela in probably one of the craziest comedy matches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The Chicago Street Fight started off very hardcore, very, different spots, and it all led to Joey Ryan and, the power of his wang, pretty much. And there was, I'm not even going to try to describe what happened, but there was a parade
You can tell this is not a kids show.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
The All In was definitely not. Because they had a parade of inflatable wangs come out at one point when Joey Ryan returned. It was madness. You want to talk about it? You want to talk about comedy matches? This is it.
I never expected to see anything like that on television.
Gotta say it's great.
I will say it's memorable.
You can't deny it.
Can't deny it.
Remember that stuff.
And I didn't really know what Joey was all about. Now that I know what he's all about, I think I'd probably watch some more of his matches.
I think if you didn't know anything about Joey Ryan and then saw this, you would immediately understand his character and what that's about.
Oh my god, being the Elite is weird. I'm sorry.
It's
their own show that they do or whatever.
And the whole storyline of this match
is based on this show that the Elite produce on their web series, I believe.
Yep.
I don't know if it's
a web series.
anywhere else.
Yep. So
it's
weird.
a really wacky story.
Weird the way the story was built.
Yeah.
It's just you gotta watch it. You gotta watch this match. It's bananas. It's bananas. There was like cowboy boots at some point that put fear
into Hangman Page and yeah.
I was great because Hangman is usually such a serious guy in New Japan. Yeah. To see him just being
him in this match and just his utter terror of seeing those shoes in the ring and taking moves from a certain member.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Yeah. Anyway, it was.
Go see the match.
I can't describe it because
go see the match.
We don't want to get banned on YouTube.
Just go see the match. Go see the match.
It's funny.
All right, then you had Jay Lethal versus Flip Gordon. Is probably one of the more underrated matches on that card.
Yeah, boy, Flip Gordon is so talented and so young.
Yep, and it was a good match. They did a lot of. I love there was a lot of Macho Man stuff from Jay Lethal.
Like a soft humor to it.
Everything with Brandy, and he kept pretending that she was Miss Elizabeth, and her yelling at him, "I'm not Liz. I'm not Liz."
Yeah.
And then just a solid match. In the end, Jay Lethal won. He defeated Flip Gordon, but just a solid match. Good stuff. Mm-hmm. I liked it a lot. Yeah. I liked this match probably way more than I thought I was going into it.
Oh yeah, me too. No, I like that Jay Lethal kind of had like an on-off button when it came to the Macho Man stuff. Of like she hits him on the shoulder, he turns into the Macho Man. He hits him on the shoulder again, he becomes Jay Lethal again. It's entertaining. Yeah.
So once again, good comedy, good match, good wrestling.
Yeah.
Then we had Kenny Omega versus Penta El-Zero. Pentagon Jr., quote unquote.
It's Pentagon Jr.
Well, whatever his new name, his new persona is. So
it's the same persona.
Solid match. Solid match. I thought it was great. Really good match.
But so is every match with Kenny Omega. My God, that man just oozes talent.
Yeah, and here's the thing. And then you put a guy with Pentagon Jr.'s charisma in that match of that character. Because Pentagon, his wrestling's decent, but it's not like you're not going to see anything crazy out of it. He does what he can with his arm breaker, which is great, and some of the moves he does. But man, just the character work with the no fear and taking Kenny's V-trigger over and over and over again and asking for more.
To do the V-trigger, which is like, what? Nobody does that. You don't want to get hit in the face with a knee. You're crazy.
Yeah, so good character work, great. And it ends with a hard-fought victory. Kenny Omega hits One-Winged Angel, which nobody's kicked out of yet. Nope. And neither did Pentagon.
Most protected move in wrestling.
1, 2, 3. And then we had probably the biggest shocker of the night. Pentagon gets up after the lights go out, attacks I've already given away. Attacks Kenny Omega, and it turns out that Pentagon is Chris Jericho.
What?
Yep, after the lights went out, they switched. And so leading up to Chris Jericho's cruise, he's going to fight Kenny Omega. Man, I wish I had bought tickets to that. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, we discussed going to that cruise, and then I was like, nah, it's going to be weird. It's just going to be us sitting around with all dudes on a weird cruise that just, like, really, really like wrestling, like, extremely. So, but we probably would have had fun and would see some really great matches. So now I'm kind of upset that we didn't go.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be any storyline. I think it'll be a decent match.
No, it'll just be a really good match.
I think this is definitely an indicator that Chris Jericho is going to be doing a lot of independent New Japan. Yeah. If you're hoping for Chris to make it back to the WWE anytime soon,
he's not going anywhere near the WWE from what I've heard.
No way.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, he's secured his place in the Indies. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, Vince is probably really mad.
Not gonna be happy about him going to All In, which is a show that he explicitly tried to make not happen.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So Chris, we're gonna see him definitely in New Japan more.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about him going to TNA. We'll see if that's gonna happen.
See if that happens.
But he's definitely gonna be doing a lot of this independent stuff. And honestly, I'm excited because I love Chris Jericho and his reinventing of his stuff.
Oh man, yeah, like seriously. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
And a great twist, great surprise.
Great surprise to see him there. He looked mean. Ooh, boy. Yeah, the face paint that he wore was like, wow, okay. Liked it.
Yep, and then we've got Kazuchika Okada versus Marty Scurll. Loved the story they were telling with this match.
Yeah.
Is Marty Scurll trying to prove that he's not just a lightweight wrestler.
Yeah.
And who better than Okada
to
do that with?
Yeah.
Great
Okada
story.
is probably the best technical wrestler in the world.
Yeah. And so I loved it. Like, they came out, Okada really kind of showed that he didn't respect Marty. Was fighting him. At one point did the 205. In other words, saying that he belongs.
Marty belongs in 205 Live. Wow.
That is bad. That is bad when your Fed is considered an insult to someone.
Yeah.
Sorry for anybody on 205.
For the guys that like 205 Live, and I actually do like a lot of the talent that's on 205 Live, but I still don't watch it.
Glass ceiling, man.
Much.
And here's the thing: I feel like, and this is probably why Neville did left. Is how do you get out of that?
Where do you go from there? You don't. Is the answer, and it stinks that Vince has basically shut the door and made this little prison of 205 Live.
Yeah, when it should be like, eventually, bring these guys up that have proven themselves.
Yeah.
Until he starts doing that, people are not going to respect 205 Live.
Yeah.
Until they see somebody from 205 Live jump and do something great, they're not going to care.
Yeah, but anyway, on to the match.
Good match.
Some really good wrestling from both of those guys. And I thought the ending was clever because, of course, Marty Scurll is the villain, so he's not going to get a totally clean win over Okada.
Yeah.
So he used Umbrella to provide a distraction.
Yeah. I love I love that. That was probably my favorite spot of the match.
Yep.
Is Okada is going for his finisher, which is called the Rainmaker, and he's blocked by Marty Scurll's umbrella.
Yeah.
Stops the rain.
Yeah.
I loved it. But overall, even before that, great match, great storytelling, good technical stuff from both guys. Okada really kind of dominating, showing his power versus the smaller Scurll, and Scurll just, using his every trick in the book he could to put it. But in the end, it was too much. Okada did win with the Rainmaker, but it made Marty Scurll look like $1 million.
Yeah.
It was great. Great
yeah,
match.
Totally. Even though he lost, boy, he really looked strong. So it was good.
Yep. And then we had the main event, which was the Golden Elite, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Kota Ibushi versus Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix, and Bandito. This match was high octane from the get-go. And, man, the Young Bucks can put on some of the best matches ever.
Really. Like, Young Bucks all the way. Fantastic match.
Yep.
So many spots I can't even.
Yeah. They were amazing spots
from start to finish, and the luchadors. Honestly, other than Ray, I didn't really know the other two that much. But boy, they really
and Rey Fenix.
Rey Fenix, I think I've seen a little bit of. El Bandito, I'd never even heard of him. He was impressive.
Just to remember some of the spots, like at one point, Rey Fenix walked along the ropes, kicked someone, kept walking.
Yeah. I don't know how you do that.
Didn't lose his balance at all.
Maybe he's a tightrope walker. I don't know.
And then we had, at one point, Kota Ibushi staring off against Rey Mysterio, and I got goosebumps.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those two guys, I'm like, let's see. And they did. It was great.
Yeah.
Back and forth between Rey and Kota. And juxtaposition of the height and just two superstars. It was amazing. At one point, El Bandito did a triple Hurricane Rana, where he actually put the legs on 3 dudes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he hooked his legs really wide. Hurricane Rana 3 guys?
Great.
Who makes a spot like that? I don't know. I've never seen it before.
The Young Bucks do.
Crazy.
So, great stuff. They did a triple moonsault at one point, which they kicked out of, and then it finished with the Meltzer driver for the win. I thought it should have been with the
They didn't even need that Meltzer driver.
Yeah.
The other move that they did was better looking.
Yep, Bandito took the pin, and the Golden Elite were victorious
Elite
in a very high-octane match. Great match. Next to the women, probably the second match of the night.
Yeah.
Or possibly the Kenny Omega
match
versus
really
Penta
good,
was also
man.
good. So those 3 matches alone, if you don't have New Japan World, I'm not doing this because they haven't paid me a single thing.
Yeah.
Sign up and watch All In. You will not be disappointed.
If you like wrestling, that's the show to watch, not WWE. Sorry, WWE.
But that's what we review. You can't say that. Well, she did, I guess.
No, WWE has stronger storylines, has a little bit more fun in terms of like some of their character work. But if you want to watch wrestling, why are you watching the WWE? Because the WWE matches tend to be 10 minutes long maximum. Where in New Japan, they're not afraid to have a 75-minute match with Kenny versus Okada, which is probably the best match of all time, in my opinion.
Yep.
So, they actually give their matches time to breathe, and they tell their storylines through the matches, which is refreshing.
Yep, so you've heard it here. But we still want you to keep watching Raw and SmackDown and watching us.
Totally. You can watch them all.
Even though you're
watch them
kind
all.
of dissing them.
I take it back.
Yeah,
watch
what are you
them
doing?
All. They're all
what are
good.
you doing? Don't tell them not to watch that. It's how we do our stuff. So, we'll just edit that out later. Probably not.
No.
But anyway, so that's it. That's our review for this week for All In and for Raw. It's a little longer this week, but we wanted to give you all the wrestling content we have.
Yep.
We're going to be doing we'll be getting our signs soon. We're going to be doing our retro reviews eventually. We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
But
we might even have a guest star.
Maybe along the line. We'll see. So we're working on it. So look forward to that. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Wrestle Life.